How's everyone doing? It's good to see everyone's faces. I wish this is in person. This is like I'm back, with my kids in virtual school. Thank goodness they're not doing that anymore. But good to see everybody.
Eric, what have you been doing, and how surprised were you to get that call, and how long did it take you to say yes?
Yeah, once you play as long as I did, you football becomes who you are, right? So even though I haven't been playing football, I still train like I'm playing football, even though it was never even a remote possibility ever over the last year and a half, because I was pretty much set in my decision and very happy. This is by no means me having an itch or anything like that. It was just an opportunity of a lifetime, quite honestly. And knowing myself, knowing where I'm at physically, mentally, how great I feel. I've lost some weight. I've taken some toll off my knees and back, and just, I train like a madman, and that's just who I am. So when Raheem shot me a text to give him a call, I first initially thought it was about the Cardinals. Like, Raheem, like, I've watched every game, every snap, offense, defense, but I don't know if I could be much help with the Cardinals. I think you guys got that handled. Then the conversation started to happen, and he asked, he's like, you're not fat and out of shape, are you? And as soon as he said that, I knew what was coming next. And I didn't really know the context of Fuller and T-Rap and the depth at safety and whatnot. He just kind of threw out the idea that they've been talking over the last couple of weeks, and if I'd be interested. And I was my son's head coach of his 12U football team, and I always talked about owning your decisions, playing with no regrets, living life with no regrets. And I just kept coming back to, I would regret it if I didn't come and take this chance to try to help out the guys that I love, the coach that I love, and try to help this team out, whatever role that is. And how could I look my team or my kids or anyone for that matter if I didn't follow through on what I preach? So it didn't take much persuading per se. It was kind of just going through the avenues with all the coaches and reaching out to some players. I didn't want to come in and ruffle any feathers or be someone, get in the way, right? And once all that was on the same page, man, it was a no-brainer in my mind.
What's the name of your kids' team? And it was flag or tackle?
It was tackle. It was the RB Broncos, the 12U RB Broncos. We went 11-1, won the championship. Just got to throw that out there.
How much do you think is the toughest part going to be getting up to speed physically, or knowing what the scheme is and all that?
I don't want to. I think what made me great and made me who the player I was is just how I could process information and be able to quickly learn things and adapt. And I played in every system, every different coverage. So really that stuff is all the same. It's just the verbiage and the way they call and the checks. Like safety, you can come in different positions and just, tell you what to do and you line up to do. Well, in my position, I have to get guys lined up. I have to make checks on the fly and make sure everyone's on the same page. So what do I say? I don't really think there's a pressing need or something that I worry about it at all. This is something that is in me and what I do, and I take it very seriously. So we went out there today on the field and I didn't make a mistake on any checks or calls. So by Monday night, we'll be rocking and rolling.
Thank you.
Claudia.
Hi, Eric. It's great to see you.
Good to see you.
This team has a strong defense. Anything different that you are learning about your teammates and the defensive coordinator since the last time you were here?
Well, Raheem and I go back a very long time. He coached me at the Senior Bowl. And so we have a very strong bond. We've kept in touch over the years, and we always talked about an opportunity playing and him coaching me one day. And it obviously didn't happen on the first run, but now having this chance, it's almost, you just can't make these things up, honestly. Like having a chance to play under Raheem and to come back and to make a difference. Maybe I'll be the difference, maybe I'm not, but it doesn't matter at this point. I'm here and I'm ready to be great, and I'm ready to help and get these guys playing at the highest of levels 1 week at a time, right? And who knows what happens. Doesn't matter what's going to happen on Tuesday. It doesn't matter how many plays I play. We'll worry about that when it comes. And so defensively, I'm just getting in and playing my role, right? It's not my defense. It's not my team. I know my role. I know who I am, but I don't need to press on any toes. I'm just here to make sure when Monday night comes around, the secondary is playing at a high level and we're playing our best when our best is needed.
And as far as the game, Arizona has a very good passing game. What do you see as the biggest challenge?
Well, I mean, it starts with our quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Obviously, with his feet and his touch, throws a great deep ball. Their weapons on their outside with Green and Kirk, and then each guy does something a little different and where they're located and by their splits and whatnot. And obviously Ertz is kind of a safety valve, middle of the field, likes them in tough situations. So they're very potent. And you look at their running backs. I mean, geez, Connor's having, how many touchdowns do you have? 16, 17 touchdowns. I don't know if he's going to play or not. Hopefully he does. I respect him and I'm very fond of him, and especially his Pittsburgh days. And then Edmonds out the backfield. So they got weapons all over the field. And for us as a defense, we just got to play our defense, play our style. That's aggressive, keep everything in front of us, communicate, right? Make sure we're all on the same page. That's basically as any secondary. You just got to make sure we're all on the same page. And whatever happens after that, we can live with, right? But we just can't have any busts. We can't have any miscommunication. Can't have any talking right before the snap, right? Just make sure we're lined up, feet in the ground, and go be great.
Thank you, Eric. Great to see you.
Lindsay?
Eric, good to see you.
Great to see you. Sorry I didn't get back to you earlier. I didn't have my phone on me, and I had like.
Oh, man, she's contacting you directly. She's contacting you directly, man.
She reached out just to say hi. That's all. Just to say, so happy I'm back.
Welcome back.
Nothing like that. Nothing
Right,
more,
yeah,
nothing less.
yeah. I appreciate you.
Man, Eric, put people on blast here.
Sorry, I'm just honest. I didn't. You gotta give me the heads up next time. I don't know.
Hey, I know you're a fan of Terrell Burgess. I'm curious what his reaction was when you walked in the building.
T-Bird, a lot of these guys, some of the guys were here when I was here. So it was like a reunion of sorts, hugging everybody up and saying hello. And then T is he's kind of quiet. He's kind of reserved, as you guys know, and he's opening up more and more. And it's just a cool moment. Like another guy, Matt Gay, having a chance to take the field and share the field with these guys, which was never a possibility in my mind up until 24 hours ago. It just never something that I needed or wanted. But the opportunity comes up, and now I'm sharing the field with these guys that all watch me play and have a close relationship with. And it's just super special. It really is.
And then the way you've spoken, it seems pretty clear, but I just want to make 100% clear. Your expectation is that on Monday night, you're going to play in that game.
Yeah. I mean, if I wasn't going to play, I wouldn't be here.
Well, if there's a difference between coming in and being ready for Monday or maybe being ready for something maybe down the line. So
yeah. I mean, I think I'm obviously going to have a role. Tomorrow will be a good day. See how I feel running around like live stuff. But the checks and seeing routes and all that, that stuff is second nature. So the reason you come to the practice squad first, it kind of gives them an idea and my idea. But at this point, and the way we're building the game plan is as if I'm going to be out there. So moving forward, that's the case until something arises.
Cool. Thanks.
Yes.
Kevin?
Eric, good to see you. Even if
How are you? Good to see you.
This Zoom thing is a little different.
Yeah.
You talked about coming in, not wanting to step on any toes, but you have a pretty irrepressible personality. Do you find yourself restraining yourself, doing anything different?
No, it's more so like my personality, I'm gonna be who I am, right? I'm not gonna change that. It's more so, it's different being in a whole off season and speaking up when I don't think maybe something structurally for the defense isn't right, or conceptually maybe there's a different call, or maybe we should play it like this. Now it's just, hey, this is what they're doing. I'm gonna adjust and do what they're doing and make it work. So it's more so that type of stuff, and then just getting getting on the same page with the guys, and I feel like I can adjust with anyone and make things work, right? That's what I felt one of the best qualities about me is I'll find a way to make it work with anyone, and right now whoever's on the field is just finding that niche, finding that communication, figuring out how they play certain things so I can make them the best possible on Monday night, right? It's not about me coming in and saving the day or making all these plays. Like, no, it's never been about what I am. And it's more so what makes the defense great and how do we get the best out of everybody. So that's what I mean. Like just finding my way. But again, like I'm pushing everybody and making sure the standard is the standard, right? Like, you're going to always get that with me.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Caleb?
Hey, Eric, what was your son's reaction to you saying that you were going to go back to playing football?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. He ironically, I was on the phone with Sean towards the end when we were just kind of talking through the steps of getting me up there, and he was in the car. I just picked him up from basketball, and our afternoons consist of basically the Weddle taxi service. I'm either picking up volleyball, dropping off basketball, then re-picking up volleyball, dropping off soccer, acro. Like most afternoons, my wife and I don't even see each other until the end of the night because it's a busy Weddle household in the afternoons. But when we basically sat everyone down, he ran and got his Ram stuff on and was getting all emotional. My son's like an emotional. He's got a big heart, and he was just so happy for me. Like, we try to. Chanel and I just try to teach our kids, right? Opportunities come, and it's whether you make the most of them or not. It's in everyday life, right? No matter what you're doing, opportunity comes. Are you ready for it? And do you make the most of it? And for me, it was a perfect time to be an example to my kids that, hey, this opportunity came and I'm going to go make the most of it. And they were just pumped and ecstatic, and they'll be there. And it's just very cool opportunity for them and for myself.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine. You mentioned communication earlier. And McVay has touched on before, like how you were one of the first players in like that East coach who had, worn the green dot out of the secondary. So do you remember what that conversation was like? Like, did you find it weird that a defensive back was going to be the one wearing the dot and relaying all the calls?
No, I mean, it started in San Diego. I mean, probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. I think I was probably one of the first, if not the first, outside of a backer to wear the dot, and it kind of just spiraled to where it is now. Your safeties are your quarterbacks, right? They both have to involve the front seven and the back end and know what everyone's doing, know everyone's job, everyone's roles, and then we just have great perspective. And then my years in Baltimore, I had it. And when I came here, when I was meeting with Sean and we were just talking ball and just seeing the positives of having the guy that's always on the field as your safety spot. You have so many different personnel groupings, right? You have very rarely is the linebacker, middle linebacker always on the field, right? There's some packages that he's not, whether we bring an extra rusher or extra DB and just explain to him the benefits of a safety having it. And then it's just carried on from there. And a lot of teams use it now, which is very cool.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Beecher?
Hey, Eric, good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
You said this was something you never needed or wanted until you got that call from Raheem, but did you ever feel in 2020 or last year that you retired too early? Did you still have that fire while you're training like you're still in the NFL, even though you're not?
No, honestly, I'd be lying if I said I wanted to get back out there. When I say I'm as happy as I've been the last year and a half as I was when I was playing. It's just a different happiness now with my kids and, you know, coaching my son. Finally, I get to give back to him. And it's kind of refreshing to, in a sense, when I say like nothing revolves around me and what I want in my life, when everything has been surrounded on what I need, right? If we're going on vacation, is there a gym? Is there a field that I can get work at? Or can we go in certain times of the year, like vacation, like you can't, like every holidays, right? Everything's centered on what my job was. And it's just been nice to be there for my kids and Chanel and you know, doing what I want to do. And so when I say, you know, it's not something that I needed or wanted. In that sense, it is, because I was fine just supporting my family, but supporting my guys, supporting Sean. You know, I reach out to him, you know, a few times a month just to make sure and checking in and watching every snap. Like, I feel like I'm part of this team. I haven't missed a snap of every game, right? I know the ups and downs. I know the adversity. Emotionally, physically, I haven't been there, but, you know, I feel like I am. So, in that sense, you know, when I walked in yesterday, you know, I'm talking to guys that three games ago, situations that have happened because I've watched them, I know them, and trying to help them. So, but then you flip it upside down where you get that call, and it's very different. Like, I got calls after my first year of retirement, and it was in training camp, it was mid-season, and this is a very unique situation in a sense where, you know, it's win or go home. Right. And it's much different mindset when knowing I can give it all I got and help out, and then we'll worry about next week when it comes. Where before it's like I missed out on everything, and it's hard to just come in mid-season knowing you still have 8 games left. Like, it's just not applicable. So it's just a very unique situation. And the bottom line is this just doesn't happen. So you can't pass up something like this.
Yeah, you just addressed the other thing I was going to ask you, how closely you followed the Rams and how much you've stayed in the game, even though you weren't in it. It sounds like you're right there with them the whole way. Friends with Sean, and you follow everything. Yeah.
I mean, when I say I get so excited each week to watch them, and you know, there are times where I'm texting guys and it's like 6-7 hours after the game, because most Sundays I don't even get to watch the game live because I turn off everything. I don't want to know what happened. I don't, you know, I want to watch it live. If I'm the only one watching it and I don't hear anything else, it's live to me, right? So I'll text guys, you know, and they'll already be at home and they'll be like, oh man, you know, I'm icing up right now. But yeah, I mean, it's given me a way to still be connected with the guys that I've gotten close with, players and coaches, but also not ever feeling like I want to go back. And it's been nice. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that there hasn't been one moment. The only moment was week 1 of my first year out against Dallas, when I saw everyone hugging up after that huge Cowboys win. And that was the only moment over the last year and a half that I was like, man, I wish I was there, right? I wish I was in that moment. You can't, the raw emotion, the excitement, the grind, everything that goes into getting a win, like, you just can't replicate that outside of football. But besides that moment, I've been just a fan of the game, of all the games, and football has been so amazing to me. So I love it dearly, for sure.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Hey, Eda, we still got 7 hands left, man. So we really appreciate your time, man. We try to make it quickly, man.
Don't worry.
Go ahead, Gary.
Hey, Eric. Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy.
You know, I was asking Sean if, you know, beside all your experience, given your age and the fact that you haven't been in the game for, you know, nearly 2 seasons, if he had concerns. And he said, you know, you probably feel better at this point in the season than you ever have going into the playoffs. So I wanted to see if that's true, and if you think that can be an advantage for you as you guys go, you know, week to week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously training for NFL season is unlike anything else. You can't get that outside by yourself. And I'm not saying I'm on that level, but I have done things both training wise and playing 5-on-5 once or twice a week. You know, I love basketball, and that change of direction, the jumping, the start and stop. You know, I came out yesterday and ran and lifted, and it was as if I had been here all season. So, and I'm not going to say I'm at that level. That discredits every NFL player that's spent the time and effort. But if I didn't feel like I can go out there and be what I'm expected to be, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So is there concerns? Yeah. I mean, I could be every Wednesday night I play basketball, I can blow out my knee. So I don't live life like that. I don't concern myself with what ifs. I'm going to go prepare, get right, have a great practice tomorrow. And to your question, in January, I feel amazing because of that sense. Like, I don't have the wear and tears. I feel strong because I still lift. I still in great shape. But compared to everybody else, I mean, I do have leg up now. Timing and tackling and all this other stuff, could be behind. But at the end of the day, it's in me. Like, instincts take over, and you just throw it in there and make sure you're on the right side and leverage and all this stuff and trust your teammates. And at the end of the day, it's about being great, right? Like, just go do it. There's no excuses. There's no what ifs. Just go do it and own it. And, as you guys know, that's what I'm about.
Thanks very much.
Yes, sir. Who's next? Don't be shy.
Stu?
Oh, is it you guys pick them? All right. Come on, Stu.
Good
Stu,
to see
buddy.
you. Jalen seemed especially excited about you coming back. Seems like you guys still have a pretty tight relationship. Did you have any conversations with him before you officially came out here, or any teammates, anybody besides Raheem, and what were those like?
Yeah. I loved my half season with Jalen, and we really connected on a personal level, on a playing level, and personalities and players and teammates. You find ways to connect with guys, and when you reach certain heights in your game and in your profession, the respect and the admiration you have for guys that have done it, right, and think like you, right. Jalen's a very unique guy, and he wants to be around greatness. He wants to be pushed. He wants to be connected. And I just felt that early on. And I love that. So we've kept in touch throughout the entire season. I'll get on him when I feel like I watched the game and it felt like he's let some things slip, and he'll be like, you're right, big bro. You're right. And there are other times where, I'm supportive and I'm there if he needs me to vent or get things off his chest. And so I did reach out to him because this is his defense, him and AD. And I just wanted to, make sure that he is good and on board with it. And I didn't have to do any really persuading. He said, get your butt out here. That would be the best Christmas gift ever. So when he said that and we kind of talked things through, it made me obviously humbly saying, the relationship we have, and to hear him say that made it me more confident to come back and help out.
Thank you.
Kurt?
Eric, thanks for all your time. This is incredible, especially what you're talking about your family. You talked at the beginning about you were working out like a madman. You've lost some weight to help your knees, and this opportunity. What's fascinating, could you have taken this opportunity had you not been playing 5-on-5 basketball? Had you not been working out like a madman? No chance. There's zero chance. Well, with me personally, I mean, maybe some other guy would, and it wouldn't have probably been the best decision. But with me, I know what goes into a season. I know how much time and effort, and am I at that level? No, but I'm close enough where I can help out for one game, all the marbles for 10, 15, 20 snaps, or however many more or less I get. Like, I can do that. And then you couple that with 5 days of being around the guys and training and the rehab and the treatment, and that, those are the kind of things that you kind of miss most. Not the way you're able to recover and everything that's available to you. I'm like, shoot, I mean, this is a no-brainer, right? I'm already at a good base, right? I feel great. My knees, the bending, the change of direction. I mean, honestly, for my majority of my career after my third year, I played from January all the way up until
early May when we started on-field work in the off season, all I did was play basketball 2 or 3 times a week. And I played in adult leagues. I mean, that was my off-season training. I stayed away from the football field because I believe that the movements and the refreshment of your mind to get away football but just working out on the basketball court helped me stay healthy throughout my entire career. And so, and I love to play, but on top of that, I thought it was so beneficial for my job as an NFL safety. So I've carried that over. And if that wasn't the case, it's just hard to replicate football, right? You can run all you want and you can do backpedaling drills. Like, I don't need to do that. I know how to backpedal. I know how to break. It's more the live work against somebody that you can't predetermine what's going to happen, right? Like if I'm guarding someone on the basketball court, that's live, that's all out. And I don't know what he's doing. So I'm reacting. I'm still training those muscles. Even though I'm not on the football field, I'm still doing it and still firing them. So back to your question in a longest answer ever is no, if I wasn't doing all this stuff, I wouldn't be here.
Good luck Monday. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Jordan.
Hey, nice to meet you. I didn't get to cover you the last time around, but thank you so much for all the time you're giving us today. Wondering too, I mean, I know you have studied this system change, the scheme change over the last 2 years in your time away, and probably have also studied sort of the ripple effect of this type of defense across football as well. So what do you make of this type of shift that they've made since 2020, particularly the autonomy it gives to defensive backs and also the freedom it's given Jalen?
Yeah, it's Sean said this to me multiple times over the last year and a half, and then Raheem, has said this before even 24 hours ago, that this defense was tailored for me. And what made me such, a high level player is just being able to read, react, use your instincts, the short area stuff, the quickness, like everything that, I did on my own, improvise and all the other stuff. This is built in now to a defense where it's just let you go play and do what you do best. So that has been fun to watch over the last 2 years with the Rams defense and how it's evolved. And there has been some things where, studying the defense and talking ball with the coaches and just kind of seeing how we play certain things is some of the concepts that have been new to me, and I like them. It's just, when you're trying to study and trying to erase everything you've learned and ingrained in you, and trying to, pick out what your, the key words are and how we're playing this and how do we play this concept? Because, you could have it in your mind, but if you're playing it a certain way and it's wrong, it's not good. So, but it's been the last, 24 hours of just getting this defense down. It's been awesome. I mean, I woke up at 5:30 this morning with, yesterday, 5:30, today was 5:32, but, just with like a renewed excitement. Like I love the grind. It reminded me of the hours I spent, till 1, 2 in the morning trying to get my 12U football team ready. Like, it's just fun. Like this is what it is. This is what life is about, right? Trying to go the ultimate goal and move on to the playoffs. Like I'm like a kid in a candy store. Like this is, you just can't make this up. You got to give it your all, right? You got to you do whatever you can to make it happen. And, for an older guy, I appreciate these moments, right? And why I'm willing to come out, whether I'm crazy or not, that's for everyone else to decide. I don't really care what they think, but that's how much I cherish and believe and want a chance at the Super Bowl. I mean, that's why I played for a chance. And now you're saying I get a chance that I can actually go help and do this. Like, sign me up.
And then just a quick follow-up too. I know, sorry, Artis. Just the scheme itself. I mean, obviously, like maybe 6 months too late, right? Before you're joining it yourself. But is it re-energizing, revitalizing in a way, not just this experience itself, but again, like the empowerment it does give to its defensive backs to be learning something or relearning and figuring something like this out in this moment?
Yeah. It's I love challenges. I mean, aside from all the great positives, don't worry, baby, you can come in. All the positives of what I've stated, but man, I mean, the challenge to go out of being a year and a half out of football and to prove that I could still do it. I mean, that's a challenge of all challenges, right? And I'm up for it, right? If anyone could do it, I can. And that's my mindset on it. And then couple that with all the little nuances in with the defense and the conceptual changes is man, it's just awesome. Like you said, it brings out a new vigor, a new energy that not necessarily I needed, but I'm here and now it's bringing it out. And now it's just like, how can you not put a great big smile on your face and go to work?
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Kyle. There you go.
Gotcha. Thank you. Eric, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. There's my guy. How are you, buddy?
I feel like I'm in a time machine right now. What is
Oh my
this?
gosh,
10?
you haven't aged. I have. I see my
No.
grays on the side of my beer.
The beer looks fabulous. It's great to see you. It really is. I can't believe this is happening, but let me get inside your head. How crazy is this? How surreal is this to be 1 minute coaching the RB Broncos and then suddenly you're getting a call, you're at a practice, you're on a news conference right now. In 4 days, you're going to be playing in a football game. I mean, this is nuts, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I tried to, I had a, so to go into my mind, I had a rush of emotions, right? Like you get that call and you're kind of like, all right, this isn't really going to happen, right? You're kind of reserved. And then you realize it's serious. And then you get excited. You're like, who wouldn't get excited, right? And then the realization of everything that entails, right? I'm leaving my family. I'm leaving my kids for a week, which isn't really that big a deal, but it is when I've been at home for the last year and a half and the routine. And luckily, my wife is incredible. And then it's like kind of overwhelming, right? You feel like, whew, you got to take a step back and then you got to figure out, all right, can I do this? Right? Is this something that's realistic? Does it make sense? And can you do what they're asking you to do? And then you make that decision and you commit to it. And once I made that decision at 10:15, I did it a little bit earlier, but that's when I started driving up and got into Thousand Oaks about 1 a.m. It's crazy to say this, but it's as if I never left. I know that sounds crazy, but when I'm out there going through plays and I'm seeing routes and movement, it's just like it's inside me. It's who you are. You see it. Will there be times my timing's off? Yeah, but this is what I've done. This is what I've done my whole life. So it's definitely been surreal, crazy. But once the mind switches and it's go mode, I don't really think about anything other than getting the job done and getting in with the teammates and doing what I need to do necessary to make sure my job is successful. And my job entails is getting everyone ready to play their best. And that includes myself. So I don't really worry about anything else outside of that at this point, whether what people think, what family and friends think, what news, like all this other, they can talk all they want. This is a done deal, so let's go. So either get on board or not. I can't help you with that.
I was going to ask you about your expectation level for yourself, but that's already been asked and answered. So let me ask you about the team and your expectations for this team. You've been watching, you've been an objective observer. You saw the game last week against the 49ers. What do you honestly think that this team can accomplish in these playoffs?
Well, we're 1 of 14, right? And everything that's happened to this point, good, bad, or indifferent, does not matter. Last week is last week. You're accountable for what had happened, both players and coaches. Some things didn't go our way. We didn't finish, and you move forward. But at the end of the day, we're playing at home in the first round of the playoffs as division winners, right? And we have a chance, if we win, to move on to the ultimate goal, which is the Super Bowl. And there's no doubt in my mind, looking at this team, that we have all the pieces to go all the way, right? And the weapons, the quarterback, the system, and then you look at the 3 levels of D, right? Just you know, with Jalen, with AD, with Vaughn, with Flo, how those guys are playing. You don't come across teams that where you have just elite tops tier players on your team at multiple positions. You just don't. And looking at that, it gives me all the confidence in the world that if we just go be our best version, right? I don't need to be anything more than who Eric Weddle is, right? And that's getting people lined up, doing what I do, make tackles, be in the position, right position, right? And if every guy just does that, that'll be good enough, right? Because we're that good, honestly. And you don't need to do more than what your coach should do. Just do, so when I look at those things and our leader who's as good as they are, why not?
The beard is back. Great to see you, buddy. Thanks. Rooting for you.
All right, we got Mike and then Dennis.
Eric, good to see you again.
Good to see you, buddy.
The world has changed a lot since we last talked to you.
Geez, no doubt about that.
When you signed on with this team for the 2019 season, the expectations must have been high coming off the Super Bowl with all the pieces here. You mentioned, the relationships you made here. That team just barely misses the playoffs. They finished 9-7, winning record. So you said you feel like it's never left. You feel how excited you are. Does it feel like a continuation? Does it feel like a second chance or a redemption for you to now get to play in the playoffs with this team? And then have you had a chance to go see or be at SoFi Stadium yet as the second part?
Yeah, I think it's spot on. I just think of all the correlations to this situation that I'm in, right? My last year, I didn't make the playoffs. Now I'm back in the playoffs, right? The relationship of Sean and I and how close we've gotten and how we've grown and he's grown and how so much I grew as a player from him. And now I'm back with him trying to get where we all wish we could go is win the Super Bowl. And then I look at Raheem and our relationship over the course of my career and looking back all 15 years ago, wishing we could get on the same defense together. And now I have that chance. I mean, you just can't deny all those factors and say to yourself that this is meant to be. Like I feel like I'm meant to be here in this moment, whatever that role consists of, and I'm going to go do my best to dominate that and help along the way and do my part. Maybe there's a reason I'm here. Who knows? We'll figure that out when it's all said and done. But all these things don't add up, and you're sitting here right now in this moment. So I definitely believe in all that. And I have not been in SoFi, and my first time being in SoFi will be taking the field, which is pretty exciting.
So what do you think that's going to be like? If you can kind of close your eyes and picture that.
Yeah, I've seen it on TV a bunch, and I don't know if I'll appreciate it because when we get on the field and when you cross that white line, you zone in and you're so in tune with what's going on. You don't even hear anything else, right? The crowd could be going crazy and you're so locked in into the job, into the moment, what you're seeing, what you're thinking, that you don't really appreciate the stadium in itself. So what I expect when I walk in is going through my keys, my reads, and going to be great. I'm not really worrying or caring about the stadium for that matter. And that's not saying I don't want to look at the stadium. It's just not really high on my priority list.
I'm with you, Dennis.
How you doing, Eric?
Good, man. Yourself?
You're doing great. Thank you for taking the call. I appreciate it.
Like that background. Where are you at in the park somewhere?
That's in Arkansas. Thank you. You've been around great players throughout your career. What's your overall impression on this particular defensive unit?
Just how they're coming together, how moving parts.
Someone from the video department.
Sick. Who's that?
Could send me.
Oh, look at Tom.
Hey, we good. Sorry about that, man.
No, you're all right. Thought someone was adding in. Come on in. The moving pieces, when we got Vaughn and then Odell, it takes a process, right? And then you see what you envisioned of these guys, right? The way Vaughn's been playing over the last, month. just dominating the run game, then making huge plays at the end of the game to help seal wins. And even the last week, I mean, just big plays that big time players make big time plays in big games, right? And that's the factor that these guys have, right? You can't just, wish it on some guys that hope they become those players. We have those players here. They've done it their entire career. So that's just exciting for me to be a part of. I mean, Vaughn and I looked at each other, man, and said, "Hey, man, we back at the Pro Bowl or what?" And I just started laughing because, that was Vaughn and I obviously competing against each other, but we had so much fun at those Pro Bowls together. But it's just it's such a fun group, a great group that works hard, led by AD. I mean, his work ethic and accountability and just his greatness, it makes everyone want to be that way, right? And when you have that, and you have guys that have been elite for their careers, it raises the level. And I'm just trying to add a little spice to all that other stuff.
And how do you strike the balance of not stepping on other people's toes, while also being able to give your teammates timely nuggets based on your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a well-aged adult in the NFL league, so I've learned along the way when to save my opinion and when not to, and when to swallow your pride and ego for the betterment of the team, right? And I have no problem with that. I don't look for any attention. I don't look for the accolades. I will have as more joy out of my teammates having success and plays in myself. I mean, it's just how I've always been as a player and as a teammate. So I don't really worry or stress about what I say or what I don't say. I think I've learned when to press the right buttons at the right time with certain guys, and knowing who certain guys are that I don't need to say anything to them. And other guys saying the right things at the right time and understanding how they react by how you speak to them, how you talk. Always being coming at them respectfully, never in a degrading, talk to them in that sense. So I've learned those nuances of relationships with your teammates that I don't really worry about stepping on toes with guys. At the end of the day, I have a standard of myself on how I treat people and how I care about people. And that's never going to change. And when I come up to you or say something to you, they know that respect factor is always going to be there. And so it never comes off anyway, other than we're trying to be great and I'm just trying to help. And it usually works out well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Tom wants to wrap it up.
Eric, congratulations on your transition from football and back to football. And what jersey are you going to wear? And then I want to ask you about something relating to your first playoff.
Yes, sir. I'm wearing 20, and it wasn't really an option until I went back and I'm like, there's no other options than the numbers you gave me. And they're like, well, there's 20, but Jalen is not going to sign off on. He hasn't signed off on it. And I walk in, I'm like, Jay, yo, you care if I rock 20? And he's like, man, of course, man, that's all you. And so then I'm like, man, it's E-Dub 2.0, his second stint. So I'm wearing 20, and I'll make sure I don't do 20 wrong. I can guarantee that. And what was the next question?
The next question is, if we could go back to your rookie year, and I could still see him with an interception against Peyton Manning in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
And
getting
Jeff
pancaked by Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, Jeff Saturday might have helped you. So you're on that team, Rivers, Gates, LT. You're a rookie. You guys go to the AFC title game. Were you thinking this was going to be maybe, I mean, not every year, but were you thinking I'm going to end up playing a Super Bowl in my career if you go way back?
For sure, 100%. And that's when you're young, you're naive to the game and how hard it is to just make the playoffs, let alone advance and have a chance to be a game away from the Super Bowl. When we played in that AFC Championship game, I thought everyone's gonna come back, we'll be healthy, we won't have guys injured, and we'll be back playing. And you know, we went to the second round, but I never sniffed the championship game since my rookie year. And that's, you know, honestly, I've done pretty much everything that you could do individually. Not, you know, I'm not the 3-time defensive player of the year and never got close to that like AD, but outside of that, you know, it's pretty, I've had a good career, you know, well respected, but you know, the one thing that why I played and why you take this sacrifice and why you turn everything out for your team is for the chance at a Super Bowl. And to be able to sit here and say I have a chance to be a part of a team, I mean, it's just mind-boggling, really. It's just pretty fortunate, pretty blessed to even be thought of to come back. And then now it's on me to go make the most of it.
Thanks, Eric. Have a good one.
Great to see you, buddy.
We appreciate you, man.
Great to see all you guys. Hopefully Monday night we have some big smiles and I'll be able to walk off the field, not crawl off the field. See you guys.